Say hello, Sherry.
Hi, yes, I'm Sherry. So sorry.
That's Sherry.
Yes, that's me.
And I'm Courtney. Sherry's operations manager with the diner, and I'm the director of operations for the diner.
Why do you think people find this place so magical and special?
It's interesting. I think it's a lot of things. I was really surprised when I started working here because I updated all my socials and immediately had friends from like California, from Austin, Texas, from all over who knew about this place and had stumbled upon it at some point. I think that Mike Chiaffi, the owner, did a really good job bringing this diner back to life, making very smart decisions, throwing back to the time that it was from. He tried to make it look like it could be in the 60s inside without making it look like, you know, a Johnny Rockets or some kitschy diner. He hired all locals. They met plenty of local farmers, local purveyors to serve local food, and it's funny because if you read our cookbook, it's more of a love letter to the Catskills than a cookbook. And I think that whole ethos and everything he kind of brought to the table with that has just shone through. And I think our staff has been with us such a long time. The people who work here because they believe all of that. And I think it just lends itself for a really unique experience when you come and eat here.
I agree. I think I haven't been with the company for very long, but the staff here and just the culture of this location specifically, everybody is so warm and so welcoming. Mm-hmm. And the decor and everyone who works here, I feel like it does give the classic diner vibe.
Oh yeah.
And everyone is treated like family.
Yeah.
Even when I first came here, I didn't know anyone. I made best friends with everyone right away, and everyone was just so welcoming and so nice. And I think that is just what we want to do for people. We want people to come here, you know, have a moment where they could enjoy the Catskills but feel at home.
Yeah, feel like they're amongst friends, right?
Yeah, of course.
I feel like every time I go on vacation, there's at least one restaurant that I think back on when I want to return somewhere. And like for us, like I want to be that restaurant.
Wow. So when did you open this location actually?
So this diner actually used to be located in Long Island in the 1960s, and in the 80s it moved here. It was owned by a Greek couple up until about 12 years ago. Michael and his family were driving by, and I think he made a comment about how he just wished somebody would update it. If you look at pictures back then, it had really dark curtains. Like they covered the windows. It just wasn't as open as it is now. And he had just sold a business, a set design company, or they were producing sets for Broadway, TV shows, things like that. Yeah, so it makes sense, right? When you look around, it makes it makes all the sense. So he had an eye for that kind of stuff.
Wow.
But he had a non-compete when he sold his company, so he couldn't stay in that profession. And so he kept, saying, like, somebody should do something with that diner. And I think one of his daughters or his wife was like, well, why don't you do something with it? So they pulled in to eat, and the owners ended up being there, and he started chatting them up. And next thing you knew, they shook hands, and he was a restaurateur, knowing nothing about running restaurants.
That's an amazing story, actually.
Yeah.
Did I tell you? So my friend flew from Japan, Tokyo,
Yeah.
to just dine here.
It's so crazy.
They arrived at JFK, stay overnight at in Manhattan, and I just drove up here.
That's awesome.
They were so moved.
Oh, that's really sweet.
So glad.
That's really cool. Yeah, no, stories like that are what make this place really special. It's not... I've worked in many restaurants.
Oh, wow.
And there's nothing quite like working here, for sure.
What makes so special to you, actually?
I mean, Honestly, like our staff is just amazing. So many of them have been with us the entire 12 years, which is crazy. The restaurant industry is a high turnover. Usually people are coming and going. It's not like that here. Even the college students who come every summer, they start with us in high school. They come every year when they're home for college until they go off to their careers. And then they come back as regulars, like when they're visiting later. And I think that it's a very thankless industry in a lot of cases, and a lot of people get into it to make a ton of money. And for the people who have ever run a restaurant, it is very hard to make money. It's very hard to make a lot of money, too. So Mike isn't somebody who's got the whip and is charging for a bottom line. A big part of Sherry's job and my job and Shama on our operation team is looking for nonprofits and local organizations that we can support and help grow. So I joke a lot that we're a nonprofit, even though we are not officially, but it's because when we do have profits, Mike wants us to put that back in the community.
Wow.
So the better we do, the more we support everything around us, and that is incredibly rare in this industry. Usually people are worked awful hours, they're not paid well, they're not treated well, and this is definitely like the exception to that. It's the opposite.
Yeah, everything makes sense now.
Yeah, it's all coming together. Yeah.
Yeah, because everybody say hello to me, and then if they notice I come here very often, quite often,
Yeah.
they just start, introduce themselves, and they're like, hi, my name is this. It's like, I was just so moved how
Yeah.
the people, and then I see.
And they really do care. It's not an act. Like they want to be here and they enjoy it. So.
Yes, exactly. And then like every time I see customers, they just always leave with big smile. The whole family. It's so beautiful.
Yeah.
But-
Yeah. No, we definitely we care sometimes too much. Like we take heart every bad review. We share every review with our staff. We talk about them all. Like it literally breaks our heart when someone has a bad experience, because we do everything in our power to make sure they have a good time with us and remember us fondly.
That hospitality. So I know her, from Dixon, and then we witnessed how hard she works to make sure everybody's happy. We're so moved, actually. It's that level of the hospitality and care. It's like I never seen in this like.
Oh no, yeah,
next
Sherry
level.
is fantastic. The second we closed Dixon, I was like, okay, so what job can I give Sherry with the company outside of Dixon, because we're not going to lose her. So,
Which I was very grateful for.
and we were happy that you stayed. So, yeah.
Yes. I would say that this company is really outstanding when it comes to hospitality and caring for their staff and making people want to return. Not just our guests, but our staff. And as she said, it is a high turnover business and sometimes thankless, but I feel like the owner, and hopefully we all do, try our best to make everyone feel very appreciated for all the hard work they do. And I think that Mike and you do such a great job with doing it.
Aw,
Yeah.
thanks.
It is. And
Yeah.
you're hearing from customers like you and seeing you all the time and other repeat guests, it really affirms what we do. And it's really nice to see everyone. And the whole goal is for people to leave with a happy face and to feel like they were enjoying their experience.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's a great place to work. It comes with its own set of challenges. It's so different than any other restaurant. We keep our staff year round, even though we're so seasonal, where a traditional restaurant, you would just let go of half your staff and hire new people. So we would never do that, because we love our staff and we want to keep them. So one of the most challenging parts on the operations side is how do we afford to keep our entire staff working and paying their bills throughout the entire year when, our sales go up and down depending on the weather, the time of year, things like that. But we make it work.
Amazing.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful work.
Thank you.
Yeah. So I'm curious, what was your relationship with food growing up? Well, like general.
Do you want to go first? Do you
Sure.
want me to go first?
I don't mind. So I grew up on Long Island, and my parents, I guess, they were always the ones that were always cooking. It was never really, we couldn't really afford to go out all the time to go eat and, spend money at restaurants. So that was really interesting. My mom was always in the kitchen, occasionally my grandmother, occasionally my dad. But the thing that I always noticed is that people would always come to my parents' house to eat her food, my mom's food, right?
Oh my God.
And I mean, it started with eggs for me because I wanted to learn how to eat eggs. Eggs were my favorite. And so she taught me how to cook. And eventually it kind of just caught on, or I caught on to the fact that my mom's food was really good. And it was always very authentic. I wasn't allowed to go to, an American Chinese food restaurant and get their food because my mom can make it better, which she does. Saying that online. But the care that she put into the food that she makes all the time really inspired me to want to cook myself.
Wow.
And especially since the food was so filling and so delicious. I mean, there were times where money was tight, but she always made the food so fabulously and like we had so much. Wow. So that was always a really great experience for me. And on top of that, my dad has a green thumb, whereas I have the black thumb. But I don't know how that happened, but it did.
Yeah.
But my backyard was almost practically a farm. My dad would make these beautiful squashes, grow these beautiful squashes that would be the size of a baseball bat. Squash, watermelon, strawberries, blueberries, every kind of ingredient that you could almost get at a grocery store. But we would just have all of that naturally and at home, like the best tomatoes you would ever have, and like huge tomatoes. So they worked in tandem together, where I guess my dad was the source of all the ingredients and my mom would make them into this amazing, delicious food that her 3 children could eat all the time at home. So I guess I always wanted to help my parents out in that kind of way, to cook and unfortunately not grow things, but to cook and to provide for my family in that kind of way. So that's when I started my restaurant industry experience at 14, when you could legally start to work, and just about religiously wanted to feed the world type of situation and having people care about other people to help, which is why I think this company is such, or it lines up so much with what I want to do, because they do those things where they source locally, make delicious food, but still want to help essentially feed the world. And that's how my relationship started.
Yours is so much better than mine.
I was like,
No, that's good.
wow. So what was your like a memorable or like a favorite meal? Can you just tell me something? It was so cute.
Oh man. So there's something, oh my gosh, my son loves it. But I was the original love for it, okay? But we call it amaro, which means grandmother's meat, but it is pork belly, and she like marinates it in soy and a bunch of other ingredients, and it comes out to be this tender piece of meat that you can chop up and put over rice with other things. But
Sounds delicious.
so good. I am officially learning how to replicate it, but we'll see.
Oh, can't wait.
I know, right?
Yeah. That's awesome. So mine was totally different. I had the stay-at-home mom that was like the TV dinner mom. Like, cooking for her was special occasions. And she was a great cook when she did, but it was like, Thanksgiving, she would make like the turkeys with the puff pastry and the leaves and, all the pretty stuff. But day to day, she was very much just like, whatever can be heated up quickly. My grandmother, who I call my mama, was a cake baker, and she was like always cooked. So whenever we would go to Florida to see her, I was always in her kitchen, because I didn't really have that with my mom because she wasn't cooking all the time. So I was always kind of like enthralled by like her recipe cards, because she had the old school grandma recipe cards, and how she would make everything. But it was funny. like you, I started working in food when I was like 13 or 14 at a pretzel shop in the mall. I worked for Wetzel's Pretzels, and yeah, immediately I loved that industry because I felt like I could constantly challenge myself, and there was no like ceiling to it. Because I would just make my own challenges. Like, I wanted to do this faster. I wanted to be able to, like, have the dough rise faster, weigh this faster, like, make these, or, like, help this many customers in an hour. So even very young, I was like, I can keep doing better. Like, I'm going to keep doing this. And, you know, through the years, I ended up working full service, front of house, and moving up there. And then I want to say I was, like, I don't know, like 22-ish. And the guy I was dating at the time, I went to cook him dinner, and he was just like, you know, you understand flavors. He's like, but you have no technique. Like, you do not know how to cook. And he was like, it was funny at the time. He's like, I'm just mentioning because you've been in restaurants forever. And I was like, huh, like, do I not? And so I started paying attention to the back of the house so much more. And I went to my managers and was like, I want to cook. I want to like learn the line and learn how to cook. So it was funny. I spent years, you know, like buying so many cookbooks, like, you know, reading every cooking magazine. And then in some of my jobs since then worked both back and front. But it was funny because just that sentence he said to me challenged me enough to be like, because I had the food knowledge. I could tell you where anything was from. I could tell you where regional dishes were from, like what makes them different, the history of food, because I studied it so much on my own, but like I couldn't make anything correctly. So yeah, then I started cooking all the time, and now it's a big part. I cook every day, at least at home. But it was interesting how my relationship with food like kind of shifted so much, you know, in different times of my life.
That's cool.
Yeah. I guess. It all started with TV dinners.
Look, TV dinners are great in a pinch, and I've had them, and sometimes they're really great.
Yeah, there's something.
We have to eat,
Mm-hmm.
you know?
Oh, yeah. No, of course, yeah.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's a very interesting story, because it's amazing to know actually you always had a challenge, like a mini challenge for yourself.
Oh,
and you
yeah.
set- that's amazing story.
Yeah.
Even you were like a teenager.
Yeah, even before that, I feel like that's just my personality type. I think in order to motivate myself and not get bored,
No, get
because I don't know,
bored.
like you always want to, like I'm always learning. Like you're always still learning, right? I feel like the second you think that there's nothing else to learn or no more to do, I would lose all interest in things. So if I create these challenges or new obstacles or things to do, it keeps me interested. I mean, I do it for the company all the time. Sometimes, sorry, Sherry.
Honestly,
I come in the office and I'm like, guess what we're gonna do today? Oops, I hit the table. After we talked about hitting the table. I know. Sorry, everybody.
honestly, I don't think I maybe challenge myself as much as you do. But I do have to say, throughout my profession in the industry, I've always wanted to move up and learn more.
Yeah.
Because without that, it does get stagnant and a little bit boring, per se. Well, maybe not boring, but I mean, for myself, the front of house aspect is wonderful because you're always meeting new people, and you're always, and not that people are a challenge, but people are always an experience.
You can say people are a challenge. People are challenging.
I was going
Yeah.
to ask you, it's
Yeah.
like, you know, this level of the hospitality, the daily basis, like other challenges, and how do you...
Oh, it's. I think that you have to have a very high level of like diffusion tactics, and all like not only outwardly but with yourself, because you can't take that sort of thing home, and it's really hard, especially when you're as emotionally invested as some of us are, because it can definitely like eat away at you if you feel like you're not performing to the level you want. But it's but yeah, I mean, people are difficult. I feel like we all should just have like an honorary psychology degree, and possibly like Yeah, something else.
Definitely.
I'm sure some other degrees in relating to people.
100%.
But I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I think part of what we do well here is that we maybe don't necessarily take anything personally. I mean, at least for me, through the industry growing, a lot of it does have to do with people are just hangry. Hunger, angry.
Yeah, once you get food in their mouth, honestly, that's like if you were to do like a 3-step process or whatever, like the first one would be like food in mouth. Get food in their mouth. Because once that happens, like you're already like so many steps above immediately.
Oh, 100%.
And I get it. I mean, we, in this industry, you run on like starvation so often because you're around food so much, you don't think about eating it. So yeah, like sometimes somebody just needs a cracker. Like I used to carry around, candy in my pocket because if my staff was cranky, I would just hand them a piece of candy and be like, here you go. Just take a minute, take a beat, come back. We'll talk about this in 5, get some sugar in your blood. Like, and we'll revisit.
That's a valid point. I always have a jar of candy.
Yeah.
And it's not
she
for
does.
me.
And chocolates.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It
works.
Until you mentioned that, I forgot why I started doing it. Because it's true. I mean, and it doesn't just apply to guests who come to eat. It's also
Oh,
for
it's for us too. Yeah.
I mean,
Sometimes I need a cracker.
Oh, 100%. Oh, absolutely. I mean, the word hangry didn't even exist until a couple of years ago, I feel.
I mean, it always existed.
We just didn't
We
put
just
a
didn't say
name
it.
to it.
Yeah.
Right. But now that it's been validated.
Yes.
You just come to terms with people are just, they're hangry, one, and sometimes they're just having, a day. Yeah.
Yeah.
And we're all human.
Well, and here, so much of our business is tourism. I always call like the last day of a 3-day weekend or the last day of a holiday week like the angry day, because you'll see more comps, people are in worse moods because so many people feel like those are the only times they can vacation because the kids are out of school, so they like push to get on vacation, maybe somewhere they didn't even really want to go or are spending more than they want to spend, and so like the last day of it, you can tell they've spent way too much time together. They just want to like eat and get on the road, and if everything isn't perfect, you are going to be the victim of all of their anger of their vacation. So that's the day that you have to like put your game face on, even though you're tired from working the whole weekend or a week of the holiday, and just like hit them with kindness and like try to assess their needs before they even know what they need, and just like get them happy and get them out the door in the nicest way possible.
Oh, right. No, definitely. It's all about expediting food into the mouth.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, sometimes I feel like we just need a stack of pancakes to like throw like frisbees.
Oh, absolutely.
It's like you can just see the look in their face, and I'm like, get a pancake. Like get a pancake to table 20 right now, please, for the love of God.
Yes. We should do that.
We just need a little pancake gun, like
Oh
the
my
T-shirt
gosh,
gun. Yeah.
That would be so funny.
Yeah. It helps.
It does.
Just food.
Yeah.
Yeah. Food makes people happy, and food makes people angry. Everything comes back to food,
It does.
So
Yeah.
we try to get them on the happy side,
Yes.
or push them towards the happy side.
Yes, we try. We lead them.
But they usually come in on the not as happy side.
Yeah.
That's insane because the season is coming soon, right?
Mhm. Oh yes, we know.
You're getting ready.
Ending.
Yes.
I see that the whole line of cars waiting to even get into the parking lot here.
Yeah,
And
it's crazy. And it's weird that we get desensitized to it. Like when we hire new managers or new people, especially if they start around that time, we have to warn them, like, you're going to pull up. There's going to be no parking. There's going to be people circling. It's going to look crazy. You're going to see people all over outside, a line at the front, and it's going to be scary. But it's not. Like, this is what we do. This is fine. Just walk in, start your day. But there's times that, I'll forget that, and I'll pull up, and I'm like, how did this happen? Like, how did this happen? Where is everyone coming from?
Yeah.
But we're very thankful for it. 'Cause
Yes. Yes.
and we want people to keep coming.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. No, I still get floored by it sometimes, even though I've been in the industry for so long, and I know how well we do, luckily, for everyone like you supporting us all the time. But sometimes I still pull up and I'm just like, what is happening today?
Yeah.
What is going on?
Yeah.
And then I'll come in and I'll steal a pancake if I'm able to. And I'll be like, oh, right. This is why. This is why.
Yeah, or you'll see Mona at a table making a joke, or, I don't know, any number of things, and then you're like, yeah, it's because it's special.
Right.
And then you'll read some crappy comment online and want to go find them.
Oh, just a little.
We definitely don't look at people's addresses. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. I don't know where any of you live.
Secrets. No, it's really a great experience. And I mean, it's not just the food, honestly, the people, and like even when you come in and you're having a stressed out day, just seeing like Susie or Barbara, Mona, any of the staff members say hello to you even though they know you, or because they know you maybe, and they're treating you just like they would everyone else. And it's really a great atmosphere.
Yeah. It definitely is.
It's amazing how much you manage everything. And it's just that even driving by is like overwhelming. So I was like always what's going on inside?
I get imposter syndrome all the time. I'll be sitting at my desk sometimes and be like, pick up the keys and be like, who gave me the keys? Like, why do I have checks in front of me? Why do I have all this? I just want to go see a movie or something. Like, who thought this was a good idea?
Wow.
But yeah, apparently we do a good job. So there's a reason.
Yes.
There's a reason we have all these things.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah, it's fine.
It'll be okay.
We know what we're doing.
Yeah, let's make the pancake gum.
Oh my gosh.
See, that's why we get paid the big bucks. The pancake gun.
Yes, the pancake gun, yes.
Mike's going to hear this, though, and he's going to have someone make a pancake gun now.
Okay.
Can you tell me more about the pancake? Because, like, Phonecia Diner,
Oh my gosh.
I
Butter.
should have brought the...
Lots of butter.
Lots and lots of butter.
So much butter.
So much.
Butter.
Yes.
Melted butter. Lots of melted butter in that batter. And the baking soda to make them fluffy. And just love,
Yeah.
Butter love.
Yes.
Butter is love, yes.
Yes, butter is the secret to life.
Yeah.
A happy one, anyway.
Yeah.
No, because I'm obsessed. Butter, that's why.
I mean, it's funny. Like, there's no secret ingredient. It has the same ingredients in every pancake recipe you've ever seen, but that ratio that we use, it's just so good. And how fluffy they get, But that's what I think it is. And lots of melted butter.
Yeah. It's funny because before I ever came here, everyone kept raving about the pancakes. I'm like, it's just a pancake.
Same. I'm not even a pancake person,
Right?
but I will eat our pancakes every day
Right?
if given them.
And so the very first day I came here, I think I was pulling a shift for something. And I was like, oh, let me bring the pancakes because there's no way, I have to have these pancakes because everyone said so. And I'm anticipating feeling really disappointed, right?
Yeah.
Just because I've been in the food industry so long, right? So I go home, these pancakes are cold, right? And I'm like, let me just take a bite before I put it in the microwave or heat them up in whichever way. And I have it cold. And I don't say anything, and my husband's staring at me, and I put one in his mouth.
You're just like,
Just eat
that.
this.
Yeah.
And it's cold, right? We don't even add any butter or syrup to it, and we just eat it. And we're both standing there, and we're like, oh my God, why are these so good?
Yeah.
But that was my first impression of these pancakes, and honestly, it makes my job really easy because the pancakes are so good.
Oh, yeah. When somebody
So-
says something bad about the pancakes, it is the only item that I cannot actually believe them.
Right.
And I want to believe people because I've had those pancakes burned. I've had them sitting out for hours in the break room.
Oh, yeah.
They're always good. They're always
Always.
good. Yeah. So Sherry is like the pancake mix superstar.
Wait. That's crazy. What?
Yeah. So when Dixon closed down and I met with Mike and I was like, we have to keep Sherry. So what are we gonna do with her? Not really. It wasn't that maniacal, but we knew we were gonna bring her onto the operations side, and one of the big kind of parts of her job was we had just we're coming out with a pancake mix, and I was like, with her personality and just how great she is with people, she would do so well with the pancake sales. So it hasn't even been that long, and she's gotten us in over 100 stores already.
What? Maybe?
Yeah.
Has it been a year yet?
Yes.
Right? A little bit over.
It's been over a year.
I have no idea. Time just flies. No, it's been
like 2 years. October will
Has
be
it been
2
2
years.
years?
October
Oh my
will be
goodness.
2 years.
Wow.
2 years?
At the diner, and then I think 3 if I include Dixon.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Right. Yes. They brought me on to sell the pancake mix, and originally we only just had the buttermilk.
Correct.
Right. So we were in a few stores, and honestly, because the pancakes were so good, and luckily the name is so big that honestly, whenever I go just to, hey, this is Phonecia Diner, we have pancake mix, just here's a sample, would you like to try it, and consider letting us join your market.
Yeah.
It's because our product is so good, it really sells itself. And
I think that you have a lot to do with it too.
yes. I just say hi.
Yeah. No, but it's great. For those who haven't had it, we spent a lot of time developing the recipe to be able to be made at home, and it's the closest thing to the diner pancakes that I've ever had.
Yeah. No, definitely. I make them quite often for sampling and wherever I go, and it's just a little bit of a smaller portion size due to regulations, but the just like the size of the pancake versus the one at the diner.
Oh, you mean when you make them for sampling?
Yeah. The taste is spot on. I mean, it's based exactly on what we use at the diner.
Yep.
I mean, of course, the liquid butter isn't in there right now, but it's
You add it in.
yeah, and there's dry buttermilk in there, and it really is delicious. I mean, you guys spent a lot more time on the vegan, and we have a buckwheat version as well.
Nice.
Yeah, and the buckwheat is the naturally gluten-free one.
Yep.
Yeah, and we wanted to make sure that the taste was exactly right. So we spent, I think, an additional year almost.
We did a lot of development on it.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's really been...
But we're proud of it.
Yeah, it's been
Now
a
that
great
it's
hit.
here.
And everyone's been so supportive.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of Eggs Benedict. So I just always forget to order pancakes, but
I understand.
yeah, I'm gonna buy this today. So how much butter should I? It's a 4 tablespoons. Should I just put the stick of butter?
So, I mean, you could. For that whole bag, I think is about 4 cups. You would use 1 stick of butter for that whole bag. Yeah, so for half that bag, it's half a stick of butter for the buttermilk.
So, like, any tip?
Actually, I learned this the hard way, but this is because I'm impatient when it comes to cooking. First of all, you can't have everything on high in a pan all the time. So medium heat, and also just once you're done mixing it, don't over mix it.
Yeah, don't use like a whisk.
Right.
Oh, no?
Honestly, at home, I would just use a wooden spoon. People tend to whisk it and get all the lumps out. Just use a wooden spoon until it's barely combined. And once everything's wet, leave it and let it set for 5-10 minutes before you cook it, and that will help it puff up.
You'll see it thicken and rise a little bit.
And don't be scared about it being thick. I think a lot of people look at it and it's not like their Bisquick or other mix you would usually make, and they want it to be more runny, so they start adding more liquid. Let it be thick.
Really?
So, yeah.
Yes, wait for the bubbles, okay?
Oh, once you put it on the pan, wait
Yeah.
for the bubbles, then flip it. And don't push down. Let it be big. I feel like people naturally want to push down on it. I'm one of those too until I worked here. You don't need to.
Yes. Yeah, we will stare at it sometimes when we're cooking it, especially at sampling, and wonder
Or
why
talk
it's
to it.
right and be like, please just bubble.
Why are you bubbling it?
Please. But yeah,
There's too many people who have seen Sherry or I talking to Pancakes before.
that is very true.
We did a pop-up where someone kept unplugging the the flat top, and I have like, I don't even know how many at once.
It was at
like
least 35.
10, 15 orders at once. I
Yeah.
mean, just on the flat
Oh
tops.
yeah. Oh my gosh.
And the bubbles aren't coming, so I'm like, come on, what's going on? Like, we want to see
Right.
bubbles. And then I touched the flat top, and I'm like, oh no.
Oh no.
And then it happened again like 10 minutes later. So
Right.
that was,
Yeah.
I got to look. Like, I have a speaking relationship with Pancakes to however many people were staring around the table waiting for their pancakes.
And the flat top, because if it doesn't heat up fast enough.
Yeah.
Wow.
Right. So it really is just, you just have to be patient.
Okay.
Which apparently is not our
But
strong
at,
suit.
you're at your house, hopefully nobody's unplugging your stove. So.
Yeah.
I also didn't know I cannot use the whisk.
You can, but I tell people their first time maybe not to just use a wooden spoon because it will help them not overmix it. Because I feel like once you have the whisk, it's just natural to want to like keep
Yes.
using it.
Me, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. When I have it in my hand, I start like you use the beating. So yeah, I just use a wooden spoon and just barely combine it. And when I've done that at home, it produces the best for the mix.
Yeah. More folding, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
Yeah. If there are large lumps, of course, I do like a little pressing or stabbing thing in there. Sorry to use that word. I know it sounds very aggressive.
That's not a food-friendly word.
You just want to pop the little pocket of flour sometimes.
Sure.
But generally, mix it a couple times. You fold it in really, and then just let it sit. Just let it soak all the ingredients in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So combine all the wet first, and then add the dry.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's amazing tip, actually.
Sorry.
None of them I didn't know, so that's why I was like,
Yeah,
hey.
me neither until
Yeah.
that baby. So
Yeah. Yeah, I learned the hard way.
we both.
Yes.
So, it's like a season is coming up. So, I'm sure it's like many people's gonna watch this. I hope.
hope so
And
too.
then, and they come visit you. Do you have like any message or like, because, it's really people talking about this. I was shocked. I said like, oh, I'm going to interview Phonecia Diner, and they're like, what?
It's so funny. It's like its own little celebrity. I call it like the little diner that could. It's like so inconspicuous yet such a big personality that everybody knows. I don't know. A message for people: take your time and don't look at the parking lot and get stressed out. Sometimes it's full and we're not even on a wait. It may look really busy and it may not be that busy. And also sometimes waiting is part of the fun. We have board games in the lounge. We have like espresso. We've got adult drinks. We've got a beautiful outdoor area. Just like relax and have a good time. And yeah, I think that's the motto here.
Yeah.
Enjoy it.
That's what I generally tell
Think
people
of simpler
too.
times.
Yeah, like it's okay. Don't be afraid.
Yeah.
Come on in.
Oh no,
It'll be
so many
okay.
people are like, yeah, I never stop. It just looks so busy. And they'll be talking about like a Tuesday in off season. And I'm like, no, sometimes it looks busy, but
Yeah.
I'd always come in and check it out.
Yeah, especially a lot of city people come here. So if you see a packed parking lot,
Yeah.
it's scary actually.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure. But I mean, I will say like our staff has been doing this so long and we're used to the volume. So even in our busiest times, tickets are coming out in like 15 minutes. So you get your food fast once you get your butt in your seat.
Yeah. Yeah. The thing I remind people is that sometimes a party of 4 people have 4 cars. So it takes up a lot of
People are meeting
space.
up.
Yeah. So that's not necessarily 4 tables.
Right.
That might just be 1 table. So a full parking lot could be, half the restaurant, not necessarily,
True.
So you just have to just give it a shot, come on in, see and experience it. And then if you want to come back a different day, please do. But
Yeah.
I would give us a shot. Yeah.
Same.
Thank you very much again.
Thank you
Of
for having us.
course. This is fun.
Yes.
It was fun. Thank you.